Hello everyone, welcome back to LTF1. Let's try this again. I have recorded this video once with the audio off, so hopefully I get it right this time. It's been a good weekend, the British Grand Prix. They tried something new, and for the most part, it worked. I got to go on the Friday, something I usually wouldn't have done because it's practice on a Friday. I wouldn't have been able to afford to go to quali normally, but this year I did, so it's commendable. Did the sprint race do everything we wanted it to do? No, maybe not. Some drivers just lost out. Russell, for example. But it was a commendable effort from Formula One, and at least they're trying different things. Probably won't work on all the tracks. Probably not something that's going to get instituted everywhere and for an entire season. But it was a decent attempt, and I can see what they were trying to do, and it almost worked. So I guess we just have to kind of give it to them. And on that note, this segue almost worked, so you're just gonna have to subscribe to the channel. Smooth. The main talking point, obviously, for this race is the Hamilton and Verstappen clash. I almost don't want to talk about it because I've already spoken about it once. And over on Twitter, it is a nightmare. Everyone's just arguing with each other over drivers that don't and probably will never know them. And everyone's getting so passionate about it. Like, just relax. It's a sport. We love it, but it's a sport. And nobody was really at fault. Max could have given him more room. Hamilton could have backed out. They were never going to do it. They're the two best drivers on the grid, arguably. And they've been this close to an incident this whole season. This was maybe one of the biggest races of the season. And it'll happen again when we go to the Netherlands. Hamilton, coming off a really bad run of races, needed to win. He's at home. He wants to do it for the home crowd. And Verstappen, no doubt, was thinking, I want to win at Britain more than he wants to win at maybe Imola, because it's a slap in the face for Hamilton, right? It's just that one up. It's the mind games that we know are played in F1. And they clashed. It was the first lap. It happens. For me, 100% a racing incident. Yes, with a racing incident, you maybe do give a little bit more of the blame on the guy that's sticking their nose down the inside. But these pundits that are saying it's cops, and Horner actually, mostly Red Bull, that's saying it's cops, you don't put your nose in there. It's a racetrack. Put your nose in wherever you feel like you can put your nose in. That's the whole point. I think Chris Harris said it on Twitter as well. We might have retweeted it. It's a racetrack. We want to see them race. The penalty, a little bit harsh for me. The consequence of an action shouldn't dictate what the penalty is, if you know what I mean. So the fact that Max went to hospital, really bad, and we don't want to see that. But that, for me, should have no bearing on the penalty. So he shouldn't have got one. But he got one, and he fought through it, and you have to give him credit for that. He had a very good race. I've seen people saying it was just Leclerc in a midfield car. Leclerc is class of the field. A future champion, we can all agree. The Ferrari isn't as bad as it has been. It's actually a pretty decent car. And you still have to overtake on a track that's not legendary for overtaking, to quote Martin Brundle, and in temperatures that did not suit Mercedes while looking after the tyres. So he still had to do a difficult job. Yes, Bottas let him through. Any other team would have made the same call. I don't think we can... People saying team orders need to be banned. They tried it. It doesn't work. Fernando's faster than you. We all understood what that message was. Didn't even try to hide it. Yeah, so that's my opinion on that. There's been enough discussion on Twitter. We've had enough discussion with enough people on Twitter. It's taking an ugly turn. For me, it's a racing incident. Comment politely what you think about it, and we'll see if we agree. But yeah, moving on from that, Lando, another amazing race. He is just consistent, and he's showing everyone what a good driver he is, and he's getting the most out of the car. Ricciardo was right there with him in qualifying, so close. In the race, he's still got a little bit to do, it seems. But it's good to see McLaren scoring a large chunk of points, and with both drivers relatively happy. Ricciardo did look like he might have had some engine problem. His car was smoking towards the beginning of the race. But nothing more came from that, at least not on commentary, so I'm not sure if he did have a problem with that or not. It was just good to see. Like, people had a decent race. Vettel, silly mistake. Hopefully he doesn't go down that rabbit hole now. We saw when those types of mistakes started at Ferrari. If you can hear Google Assistant, I'm really sorry. We saw that when those types of mistakes happened at Ferrari, he just downward spiral. He was just spinning, downward spiral. He was just spinning out all the time. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. It seems to just be like a dirty air thing. But he was doing okay up until then. It was nice to see him fight with Alonso. Stroll had a good race, just kind of under the radar. Everything was under the radar because of what was happening up front. But then, yeah, both Ferraris, good pace in quali, good pace in the race. Where we want to see Ferrari, they seem to be making their way back up. They've got McLaren right there with them. On their day, Aston Martin can pull something out. It just needs to be their day. And everything looks really good going into the next few races. We have a tight, competitive F1 field like we've wanted to have. I know the front two are out in front. And I know even Red Bull have a decent margin over Mercedes at most tracks, it seems. But this is the season we want. It's going to be a tight battle. Hopefully Verstappen and Hamilton don't run into each other again. Although I can only see it happening more often now. Especially with Verstappen's comments on Twitter, which is just stupid in my opinion. Yeah, I can only see it getting worse from here. Verstappen looks like he's pissed now. Hamilton knows that and is not going to give him any extra space or any extra respect. Verstappen may have lost respect for Hamilton, so he's definitely going to be more aggressive, and I can only see them clashing more. What that does mean, though, is maybe Bottas or Norris, if they can mop up those points. Norris, they're in the drivers as of today. He's smashing it. Bottas needs to be doing a better job. Really, the win should never have been in sight for Lewis today. The fact that it was, big help for Bottas, don't you think? But I'll stop that. I'll stop that hate for when I have someone here to counteract it. But yeah, just a really good weekend. Nice to see Silverstone packed. 300 and something, 350,000 was it for the weekend? Really happy to have been one of those people. And yeah, just overall a good race. The type of racing we want to see. Obviously, we don't want to see the accident. And just, yeah, unlucky from Verstappen. Luck and a lot of skill from Hamilton. And the Drivers' Championship is going to be tight this year. Hopefully, this is the type of gap that Mercedes have with Red Bull. Tight, but neither team ever pulling. Obviously, if Verstappen had stayed out ahead of Hamilton, he probably would have pulled away. But if they can at least line up 1-2 for most of the races, then I think we'll all be happy. Yeah, this is my second time recording this, so it's definitely going to be a short video because it's really, really hot in here and I can't have the fan on. Yeah, comment your opinion. I think this will probably go for another couple of weeks, this argument about racing incident or not. So comment your opinion. We may as well milk that. If you've not subscribed, then subscribe. Usually it's a bit more lively, but flipping out, 30 degrees. I have to wear clothes for this video and I'm just dying. I can't take it. So yeah, subscribe. We've got more videos coming for you. We've got pre-recorded videos from when we were feeling a bit more up to it. Hopefully we can get something from Ishan. He was at the race today. It looked like he had a great time. So we'll get something from him. But yeah, all from me.